Welcome to Purpose and Profit, a space for kingdom entrepreneurs, creators, and visionaries who know that business is more than just making money. It's ministry, it's stewardship, it's obedience. I'm your host, Joy Obuya, and I'm so glad you're here. You know, I've always believed that every assignment from God is tied to influence. And for some of us, that influence lives in the marketplace. We are called to build things that glorify God, to create systems that serve people, to carry His heart into boardrooms, into production lines, social enterprises, and creative spaces. That's what this podcast is about, the intersection of purpose and profit. It's where we explore how faith shapes entrepreneurship, how calling drives vision, and how obedience sustains impact. So before we go any further, let me tell you a little bit about me. I've been an entrepreneur for over 15 years now, and I started straight out of campus. So no corporate detour, no quote-unquote safe job to test the waters. I jumped right into entrepreneurship, and it's been a journey of grace, of growth, and grit. I started my first business right after graduation, a small media outfit that's now evolved into Eyeris Communications, a development communications consultancy firm. I didn't have much, no fancy office, no investors, just vision and faith. Since then, I've founded and built a few more ventures, one of them being NAWIRI, a sustainable women's fashion brand based in Nairobi, Kenya. And through all of it, I've learned something, that God doesn't call the equipped. He equips the called. See, I've never been employed. So every lesson I've learned, from managing teams to building strategy to surviving seasons of lack, came straight from the school of experience and the classroom of faith. There were days I almost gave up, days I questioned whether I was really called to do this, days I wondered why God would trust me with so much responsibility, yet sometimes let the road feel so uncertain. But I've learned that entrepreneurship, at least real kingdom entrepreneurship, is less about success and more about stewardship. It's not my business, it's His. I'm just a vessel. And that is why Purpose and Profit exists. This podcast is for every kingdom builder who's navigating the realities of faith and business, for the woman balancing vision and vulnerability, for the man trying to reconcile calling and cash flow, for the dreamer who knows God said build, but doesn't have the full blueprint yet. Here we'll have honest conversations about purpose, strategy, leadership, money, faith, creativity, and calling. We'll unpack the principles that help us build God's way, because the truth is He cares about how we build, not just what we build. I'll be sharing stories from my own journey, the highs and the lows, and from other entrepreneurs who are shaping culture and changing lives while staying rooted in Christ. You'll hear about how to discern God's voice in business decisions, how to balance excellence with surrender, how to handle seasons of waiting or the silence that sometimes follows a divine assignment. Because here's the thing, success without purpose is just noise, and profit without kingdom alignment, just numbers. But when you bring the two together, purpose and profit, that's when impact happens. That's when heaven touches earth through the work of your hands. So if there's one thing I've learned over the years, it's this. God doesn't need your perfection. He needs your obedience. He'll refine you through the process. He'll grow you through the pressure. He'll use your business, yes, your business, to reveal His glory in places the church might never reach. That's why I say business is ministry. It's not just about products, clients, or profits. It's about people. It's about service. It's about kingdom influence. So as we begin this journey together, I want you to remember something. You are not building alone. You are building with God. Whether you're in a season of planting, pruning, or flourishing, this podcast will be a place to find wisdom, perspective, and encouragement. We'll talk purpose, we'll talk profit, but most of all, we'll talk about walking with God in the marketplace. So welcome to Purpose and Profit. I'm Joy Obuya, Kingdom Entrepreneur, Communicator, and Vessel. And together, we are learning how to build for impact, not just income, to serve the world, but answer to heaven. Because at the end of the day, it's not about ownership, it's about stewardship. So let's build with God.